Compromise is the Constitutional Convention by Allen and Jada. The Constitutional Convention took place from May 25th to September 17, 1787, which took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In the end, 55 delegates from every state except Rhode Island came to the Constitutional Convention. They decided to come together to discuss possible changes to the Articles of Confederation. They later decided to scrap the idea, and decided it was a better idea to make a new constitution. There were 5 key compromises of the Constitutional Convention. What was the Great Compromise? The Great Compromise was a combination of the New Jersey Plan and the Virginia Plan. The Virginia Plan called for a bicameral legislature in which the number of representatives in each house would depend on the population of each state, with Delaware having the least representation at only 80,000 people living in it, and Virginia having the most representation with 625,000 people. Of course, this made smaller states like Delaware angry, so they decided to make the New Jersey Plan. The New Jersey Plan was a unicameral system in which every state had 1 vote, which meant that every state had equal representation. This made larger states like Virginia with a population of 625,000 people mad because they would now have the same representation as Delaware with a population of only 80,000. So the Great Compromise was made, which was a combination of the best attributes of each plan, in which every state would have 2 senators and the House of Representatives would be based on a population of each state. The southern states such as Virginia and the northern states such as Delaware were thinking of how they should count slaves. So they decided to count every slave as 3/5 of a person, towards representation but no taxation. The Commerce Compromise was an agreement between the southern and the northern states. These things included no taxation on exports. Congress is allowed to regulate trade, and the President is allowed to make treaties with other countries as long as 2/3 of the Senate votes on it. The northern and southern states were arguing whether they should abolish slave trade or not. The northern states thought slavery was morally wrong, while the southern states thought it was needed for their economic success.
Fight!
Sun came up and he smiled at me. Said it's gonna be a good one, just wait.
In order to keep civil war from breaking out at the time, the northern states didn't ban the slave trade until 1808. Delegates knew that they had to have an executive chief under the new constitution, so they were wondering how they would elect a president. So they came up with the Electoral College, in which citizens vote for an elector who then votes for that particular president that they wanted. And there's a certain amount of electors in each state depending on population of each state.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.